What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wardcast. Every Monday, we bring you the latest in video game news, chat about survival horror, machinima, and what's going on at the Ward Productions. I'm one of your hosts, Shaun Clark. With me today is Jazz Rich.
What's up?
And a newbie, Maple.
Thank you. Yeah, what's up?
You can find the Wardcast at youtube.com/thewardproductions and on Google Play. So, Jazz, how was your week?
It was good.
You're always caught off guard by this. It's always at the beginning, every time, every week.
I just like famous people saying my name. I hope somebody does one day.
Wow!
My week was the same as last week, except shorter and different days and more snow.
Yeah, it's been snowing here too.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
All hail the snow.
No, take it away. Take it.
Okay.
Take it back to Canada where it belongs.
It belongs in Colorado, and you know it.
You like to share snow. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
It's because you don't drive.
What are you talking about?
Do you? I don't even know.
How do you not know?
Because I'm too busy driving.
Wow. Because driving is so complicated that it's like all you know when you're doing it.
Hey, man. Yeah.
How astute. So that's your week. Snow and pretty much what you were doing last week. The end.
I can't remember what I was doing last week.
Cool story, bro.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just say yes.
Okay. How about you, Maple? How was your week? Also, you want to give us a brief rundown of who you
Also,
are,
who are you?
potentially what you do. You said you do some voice acting and stuff, so just kind of tell the listeners a little bit about you.
Well, all I can say is I'm just an amateur guy, you know? I take whatever I can get. If someone needs me to do some sort of voice acting, I'll do it. I'll try and play my part. I work in the hotel industry. I used to work with Jazz as well. And, yeah, here I...
You have a very good voice acting voice. So I could see
Mr.
that.
Mr. President!
Thank you. Thank you.
That means nothing to no one because he hasn't even done that role yet.
It's not a role. He's the president. God.
Of the United States of Canada?
No. What? My brain.
I saw it on the internet. It's got to be true.
Damn.
Fake news.
Yeah.
The Onion.
No. So for me, not an overly exciting week on my end. I had a couple packages that got delivered to my old address, and turns out the packages are not there, and the post office doesn't seem to know anything about anything, so trying to figure out where my stuff is. Hopefully one day I'll find out. Other than that, the search for a new place rages on. That's about my week.
What did you order, if I may ask?
I have a package that's coming from a friend of mine that's just got all kinds of shit in it. And I've got two packages from Limited Run Games. And I'm not even sure which ones they are. I think one of them is Thumper, which is a PSVR game. And one of them, I think, is Saturday Morning RPG Collector's Edition on the Switch.
Oh, okay. So I take it you've been collecting very obscure video.
I try to. I have a pretty massive video game collection, so trying to add to that. Plus, everybody who knows me knows that I'm all about physical. I don't like buying digital, so anything that I can get in physical form, I try to do that. So a lot of the games that Limited Run Games does are digital only, and they just make limited runs of physical versions of those. And sometimes they'll do collector's editions and things like that. It's pretty cool. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. LimitedRunGames.com. They're not sponsoring this, but you know, whatever.
Almost sounds like you're so sponsored. This is definitely a segment for sponsorship, right?
It's like I'm paying them to be sponsored here. It's not how it's supposed to work.
Is the box from Alec?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna get a shitload of that marmalade crap.
Oh, he better not have sent me any of that shit. It's so gross.
We have that here, so I'm just gonna send it to you instead.
No, please don't. It's so bad. So bad.
I forgot what it's called.
It's probably the reason why it's gone. Someone just smelled the marmalade like, I need this.
Yeah, they threw out the box.
That's all they did.
We don't want this shit, just send it to America.
It's gross.
It's awful. But no, he's sending me some. I know he sent me some Resident Evil stuff and some drinks and food and stuff from England.
He's probably gonna send you a Barbie.
He
Knowing Alec.
He has done that before.
Oh.
So there's a good chance that there's a Barbie in there. He sent me a Barbie puzzle, girl, so. And he sent me an actual Barbie.
Oh my! He should have dressed it like Leon.
I'm building up a Barbie collection. Unwillingly. It's
You'd
just
have
happening.
like 20 Barbies and then like a Leon style like figure, and he should be like really pissed off looking.
I want a Barbie with like a Leon outfit. That would be amazing.
Leon Barbie, because he's a Barbie girl, but like with the long blonde hair.
I want it. Somebody make it and send it to me. It'll be great.
Okay.
I need to see this happen.
That sounds like a trip to Walmart. Let's get on it.
All right.
Arts and craft at Walmart.
No, just buy a Barbie.
But then you have to modify it.
Don't worry about it.
Whoa.
Don't
relax. Relax.
Just enjoy your marmalade and shut the fuck up.
I refuse.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so let's get into what we've been playing. Let's start with you, Jazz. What have you been playing?
Games.
No, you don't say.
So let's see if I can remember the games I've played this time.
Oh, I've been playing a lot. I don't remember what, though.
Name one. Pong?
Nobody told me there'd be a test.
Yeah, shit, I didn't take notes. No, I actually got Ark Survival Evolved on my PS4, and I've been playing that a lot with Diz, and it's so ridiculous.
Have you been pooping?
Yes. I've been like standing outside her house just pooping and eating my poop and then pooping more.
What?
Because she's in her house just doing something, and all she hears is like every 2 seconds.
Oh, gross, it makes a sound.
Wow,
yeah.
So detailed.
I know. It's great. And I've been playing, what else have I haven't touched Dino Crisis since last week.
Shame.
It's a
Shame
hard sis. I will, though.
You better.
I've been playing a lot of Revelations, and then my game crashed right when I was getting to the part.
I swear to God, every time that you say that you've been playing Revelations, you also bring up the fact that it's crashed.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to tell you? I was gonna wait until later, but I have like this secret. You know all the times that I send you pictures of my computer screen with like the editing program up?
Uh-huh.
It's the same picture.
Wow.
I haven't done any
Very misleading.
I just leave it open while I'm playing on my PS4. Like that if you're like, how's episode 3? And I send you a picture and you're like, yeah, you're actually working on it. No.
Jazz.
Liar. How could you deceive me?
The worst part is the other day when I was supposed to work on it, I literally like deleted a scene. Like
so
you regress?
So not only have you not been working on it, you've been losing progress.
I've been taking some stuff, but it's because I'm going with a whole different like direction for the episode, so it might actually help me progress faster.
So today I made some anti-progress, so that was good.
Anti-progress,
which I'm hoping turns into real progress. I feel like there's another game I've been playing, something with monsters.
Do you hunt them?
Maybe. Yeah, actually. I think it's like hunting monsters.
That sounds boring.
Universe.
Universe?
It's bigger than the world.
Hunting monster universe?
Yeah, 2. Yeah, I haven't been playing much.
Made by Campcom.
Yeah, Campcom.
Great.
It's a camp.
How about you? How about you, Maple? What have you been playing?
I've been having this, what's it called, feeling of finding all these old retro games now, like this almost collection that's been festering me. So I bought myself an old PS2. Nice. I brought my old PS1 back, and now I've been going through all like the list of obscure games I can find that we never really got a chance to play here in Canada, or we just never bothered with since it's been overshadowed by larger games like, you know, Resident Evil, Halo, Final Fantasy, and some other developers never got the chance to see, you know, the light of day. So I figure, you know what, maybe I should start with finding Resident Evil clones.
Oh,
and
yes.
Oh no.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and I'm quite surprised, and some of them are actually really, really good. I'm not going to say that. For one, there's a game called Countdown Vampires. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of that.
Yes, I have that game. I have not played it though.
That's the one game I'm about to try and play. Another one that I played a long time ago was Galarian. It's almost a very Resident Evil kind of game, but instead of zombies, you have an asylum where you have the ability to use psychic powers and whatnot. So think of Elfen Lied with Resi mixed in all together.
What's the name of the game?
Galarian.
Galarian?
Yes, Galarian.
That's a song.
Isn't it Galarians like plural?
Yes, you're correct. It is
And then
plural.
I've actually played a little bit of the first one, and I know that there's a second one on the PS2.
Indeed. So more or less going through all that list of obscure games, and just see how it holds up today.
That's awesome. Are you just like playing those on your own? Are you going to stream those or record them?
I'm just playing on my own. I don't really have any intentions of streaming it, and if I did, I think it'd be pretty complicated and quite a mess trying to set that all up.
That's fair.
You along those lines, you should try Martian Gothic.
I know. I just picked that
heard
up
of that,
like,
yes.
Like a couple months ago. I just found that in
I
a
had
store.
it, and I found it garbage, and I ended up sending it to somebody, and I kind of regret it because I would have given it another shot. It was
Yes.
I didn't like it, but it was so stupid.
Another one that's kind of like that was what the hell's that called? The main character looks kind of like Steven Seagal, and you're on a train, and it plays like Resident Evil, but it's like an action game, and you fight like soldiers and stuff. Like none of it's actually horror, but it plays like Resident Evil, so it's like the weirdest shit. I think it has like nuclear in the name, or fuck, why am I?
It's not Apocalypse.
Nuclear Dawn, or I'll have to look it up.
Nuclear.
It rings a bell. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think I know what the title.
Is it PS1?
Yeah, it's PS1.
Yeah, PS1.
It's one of those Resident Evil clones
Nuclear
on PS1.
Strike?
Maybe?
I think it was Chase the Express.
No, it's definitely not that. I would recognize the name if I heard it.
Or maybe Covert Ops Nuclear Dawn?
Yes. I think that might be it.
He's like, or maybe super obscure name happens to be it.
I'll have to look it up. But yeah, there's a bunch of those games. There's another one. It was like TRAG. It's like it stands for something like Tactical Rescue something or other. But that's another one of those. Like it plays like Resident Evil, but it's just like it's an action, quote unquote action game. I don't know how actiony it can be when it plays like Resident Evil. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool that you're going back and finding some of those games that kind of got lost in the massive library of the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2.
I need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that we were much younger at the time, so I didn't really have much of an understanding about certain games. So here I am, being much more mature and an adult. Adulting. I feel like I keep it. Yeah. I can actually play this proper.
Yeah, another one. I don't know if you've heard about this one, but Overblood. Like the main character pretty much looks like Barry Burton from Resident Evil.
Yeah,
it's great.
Blood.
Good times.
You know what? I looked up that game that you were talking about, and people also search for, and it's like Martian Gothic, Countdown Vampires, Overblood, Colony Wars, Woody Woodpecker Racing.
What?
It's like
one of these isn't like the other.
One of these things is stupid.
So yeah, that explains my trip back down to memory lane.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's making me want to do the same thing. Wish I had more time to play games.
I want to do that.
Oh, if only we had more time.
I know.
I mean, we do.
Do we?
I do.
No.
Yes.
I will.
Yeah, you will. You don't now, but you will. But
I will.
That's going to be short-lived too.
I doubt it.
Got to pay that rent.
That money though.
Beth works for the government. I don't have to pay shit.
Wow.
I hope she's not
work
listening.
for the government. I don't have to pay bills or taxes or anything.
No, I mean, she works for the government, so I don't have to pay shit.
Wow, Jess.
I'm just kidding. I'll find something. I'm going to Costco. Yeah, Costco.
Perfect. And you got to make that money so you can buy Vidya games.
Vidya games?
Got to get them Vidya games.
I got $24.28 in my PSN account, and that's going to get me games for the next month.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm here to spend it all on one game
Wait,
soon.
she can. I mean, Black Friday and Sunburn Monday, so she can.
Oh shit.
Sorry, you didn't hear the podcast last week. It's now Schwartz Friday.
Schwartz Friday. Well,
Get it right. We got to be
Oh, I'm sorry.
correct.
We don't want to be racist here.
I was not aware of this. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You're new.
We're taking
I'm the
those
new intern.
labels and replacing them with different labels.
That's cool.
It's all in the
I'll memorize.
instruction book for Super Pike Crust Turtle Fuck. It's all in there.
Well, now.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. So for me, I
Yes.
can't. Wow, fuck you, rude.
You said it.
I got back into Friday the 13th a little bit, trying to knock out some of those trophies.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was gonna join you, but I was like, he's
but
probably
I decided
sleeping.
not to.
I'm like, he's probably sleeping in the water somewhere.
But yeah, I'm finding myself mildly entertained by people's reactions to me wildly jumping through closed windows and hurting myself for apparently no reason. Little do they know I'm grinding for a trophy. But it's okay.
I was like, are you Jazz?
That explains everything.
I learned it from you. But
Hey,
now,
did you know if you jump out the second floor window, you'll get a trophy?
You shut up. It's funny too because I went back to look for that trophy and I couldn't find it. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking about.
I don't know what you were. I would have done it
Maybe
anyways.
like subconsciously I just wanted you to jump out that window.
Yeah, but I would have done it anyway.
Well, it worked out then. It worked. I mean, I
could've
won,
done,
you
like-
won, everybody won. It's great.
I could have done like Andrew. I could have like told you to bet me money that I would do it.
See, it worked out. Don't complain.
I'm not.
But people on that game are shitheads anyway, so it's kind of fun to see them get all pissy when I act like a suicidal noob. Is noob
time.
still even relevant anymore?
It is. It is
Okay,
still relevant.
good. I was gonna say if not, we got to bring it back. It's time.
I just found out about squeakers.
Oh, wait.
What the hell was
Sweat.
that?
Squeakers are little kids who like talk super high pitched
Oh,
and spend the entire game.
Yeah.
Like that kid in when we were playing World War II, and he was like, "Hey, Axel, can you stop killing me? I'm not gonna play."
there's a lot of those playing Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's really annoying. Playing games
You
that
can
they
add me
shouldn't
as a
be
friend
playing at
now.
all. Yeah,
It's
that
okay
was
if you
great.
want to add me.
The joys of playing, both plus and
The wonders of playing video games on the internet.
the internet's a
Love
beautiful thing.
We used to, me and my friend Jill, we used to get called like 13-year-old boys on Halo.
Because
It
girls
was
don't
really-
play games online.
They're like,
it's little boys.
That's
God,
such
stop
good-
talking on your microphone. Your balls haven't even dropped. I'm like, no, they probably never will. And they were like, "Wah, ha, ha, ha," and you start laughing. And you're like, all right.
All right. Other than that, more Street Fighter, of course. Been losing pretty frequently on that D ranking, so that's been a blast.
Doing that to yourself.
Well, I'm just trying to finish. Like I need 2 more trophies. I need to grind money, which takes forever, and I need to become gold rank, which is fucking impossible. Because you
Sounds fun.
figure like people have been playing that game for I don't even know when it came out, a year or two. So like the people that have been playing that from day one are pretty much the people that are still playing it now. So everybody playing online is like either super good or really cheap. So it's really hard to fucking rank up in that. And like when you lose, you typically lose more experience than you gain. So it's like even though you win a couple matches, like you start losing a couple matches and you fucking lose all that experience that you gain plus some. So it's like it's hard to get any fucking foothold. It's a pain in the ass. I hate it. It's pissing me off. I'm gonna break fucking 40 controllers by the time
my
I'm done
God.
with that game.
Sounds like a very lose-lose kind of game.
It is. It's awful, but I want my fucking trophies. And then I can
You're
just
to
move
that
on with my
trophy.
life. I'm obsessive
Is it
about
worth
my,
it?
my trophies, and no, it's not. It's not worth it at all, but I can't help but need it. That's why they did this on purpose. They did it to take advantage of people like me that need the complete experience. Trophies and fucking DLC. Ruining my life.
You should cut your loss, man. Just do it. Just cut your loss.
You know, sometimes I decide to do that, and then I always go back. I can't help it. It
Oh my
eats away
gosh.
at my core.
He's in an abusive relationship
I was just thinking about that.
with Street Fighter.
With Capcom.
Yeah.
Feels very bad to you. You should leave this relationship.
I try, but then it tells me that it loves me, and I come back.
Gosh.
It only does it because it cares.
Yeah, it only ruins my life because it loves me.
No, you don't. It's like different when it's just us.
You don't understand. You're
Get
not
out.
there for the good times.
It was there for the good times, then I stopped. Because it was being bad to me.
I don't know. One of these days, maybe I'll learn. Probably not.
One day I have faith.
Maybe when Street Fighter 6 comes out and all the people migrate to that, maybe I'll have a chance. We'll see. So
I guess
in
you just have to
5
wait it out.
years. Yeah. But yeah, so that's fun. That's a good time. Other than that, I've been playing. I started playing a little bit more. Sometimes, always Monsters.
I almost bought that.
Yeah, it's on sale for like $2, and it's by Devolver Games. They make good shit, so I figured I'd give it a shot. So, in that game, I got locked out of my apartment. The landlord kicked me out, and just like in real life. But landlord kicked me out and said that I have to pay $500 for rent. So I took on a few small jobs. By the end of the night, I had about $200. So not even half.
Nice.
And in my quest for money, I ended up wandering into a game developer's office where I found a note in the trash that just happened to have a password for their safe.
Oh
So
my
of course,
god.
seeing that I needed the money desperately, I opened up the safe, found $50 in there, and I took that shit. And then the
It
game
was
immediately
Telltale.
shut down because
It was Telltale.
yeah, the game shut itself down because apparently that little game developer studio was Devolver, and they were trying to be meta.
Oh
So-
my god.
So
That's actually awesome.
since it was the company that makes Sometimes Always Monsters, the game no longer exists. So it kicked me out, and I had to start over.
Is that like everything you do ends up doing that just so that they didn't have to make a full game, but they can charge you for a full game?
No, but there's supposed to be like tons of different endings and stuff like that. So apparently, I found one of them the hard way.
Man,
And,
I think I'll get that later.
It's pretty cool, and like it has like an autosave feature. But when I went to load, I accidentally hit new game, and it overwrote my save file.
Oh
So
no.
I lost all my progress. So I think I'm going to take a break from that.
Just like real life.
But yeah, when I get back to it, it's a pretty cool game. I like it so far, and it's got like the retro style graphics and stuff. So
You
it's
can
cool.
Got me there.
yeah, you should check it out.
You should make machinima with it.
I was actually thinking about like it's not voice, like it doesn't have voiceover. It's all text, so it could be fun to
Oh.
like do like a redub and make it all fucking stupid and silly. But I have too many projects going on, so probably not. I need to finish projects before I add more.
Yeah,
I need to stop.
You
Hey, you cannot even talk. You shut your
You
mouth.
do. You do.
You know what? You know what? Shut up.
But that game, you could totally call it the days of our lives.
But that we go by stealing developers' money.
What? You cut out.
Days of
Wow.
our lives. It's
Wow.
days of our lives.
No. I'm working
But
on
it's
it. Leave me alone. Shut up.
No, but I mean that game you just described. It's the days of your lives. It's yeah.
No.
So you're telling me that the game is more or less mirroring Shaun's life?
Kinda. There's some parallels there. It's a little too real.
So if
Well,
I
now.
get the game, like the first thing that's gonna happen is I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a friend in there, and they're gonna lose their job, and then they're
You're
gonna
be, like,
move in with
sleeping on the
somebody.
bench. Yeah, it's okay because she works for the government.
Yeah.
Game over. I win.
Game over, you win. Isn't that a contradiction?
No, that's my life.
Great.
Well, now.
On that note, let's get into some news.
News.
So, PlayStation will not be attending E3 in 2019.
Sony.
That's what?
That's very interesting.
Well, yeah, Sony PlayStation.
wasn't
PlayStation
sure.
is the presence that's going to be at E3. That's no longer going to be there.
How does everyone feel about that?
it's interesting. So, in a statement to Polygon, PlayStation stated, "quote As the industry evolves, Sony Interactive Entertainment continues to look for inventive opportunities to engage the community. PlayStation fans mean the world to us, and we always want to innovate, think differently, and experiment with new ways to delight gamers. As a result, we have decided not to participate in E3 in 2019. We are exploring new and familiar ways to engage our community in 2019 and can't wait to share our plans with you." So, I mean, that kind of sounds like a cop-out. It's like, oh yeah, we love our community and can't wait to share more with you, but we're pulling out from E3 and we're going to hold some of our information that we would normally share with you. It's like, how is that good for the community and your consumer? That sounds kind of counterproductive to me.
I see it from the company's perspective as if you're, logistically speaking, it costs a lot of money having to go to E3, setting up all those booths,
Sure.
managing, and all that fun jazz. Then when you look at Nintendo, they did that, 2011? Nintendo Direct. They're just doing their podcast videos and whatnot, and they can do it anytime they want, literally. They don't have to be set to any kind of schedule. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't cost them a single dime.
Well, I mean, it's still going to cost them money to do that, but of course, they're going to be skipping on the overhead fee, for being in the convention center, and it does kind of make sense financially, but it just seems weird because, so the upcoming E3 in 2019 is going to be the 25th anniversary, which Sony has attended all 24 previous events. Since E3 started, Sony's been a part of it, and they've taken up the largest real estate in the entire building. So it's really going to impact the entire gaming community, because PlayStation draws people into the event where they're going to see smaller publishers and those smaller companies are probably going to lose a little bit of exposure because it's actually going to take E3 down a notch. Whether that's intentional or not, I mean, it's definitely going to be felt.
Oh, that's guaranteed. That's gonna be a missing presence. That's pretty huge, and I do agree that they should probably have done that after this year. If they had done that, it would have made more sense. Sure, you did your 25 years. It's cool. Call it for what it is.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like a weird time. And then too, earlier this year, Sony also announced that they're not going to be holding their yearly PlayStation Experience event. So that's two of press events that they typically do yearly, and they're not doing either one of them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of concerning as well. So they're getting to the point where they're kind of cocky. To me, it seems like this is kind of a sign that they're getting cocky because they're basically wrapping up their victory over Microsoft going into the next generation of consoles. So to me, it kind of seems like this is a power play. They're at the top of their game. They're dominating over everybody. And it seems like they feel like they don't need E3. They don't really have competition, so that they can just deliver information on their terms. They don't really have anything to worry about, and that's kind of a fucked up perspective. Whether it's true or not, I mean it's matter of fact. They are dominating, but it goes without saying. You should be humble, right? You should appreciate the fan base and the community and the developers and the people that host E3 that have gotten you to where you are today. Just because you're there doesn't mean you should cut ties with everybody and then just be like, oh, well, we can do whatever the hell we want to do now because we're number one. That makes you look like a bunch of assholes.
I think there's one thing that kind of made me think about, have you guys ever realized when going to E3, maybe the difference between a decade ago, I seem to know everything beforehand. Even E3, there's so much leaks going in and out from the press conference or online news and whatnot that I'm not as excited as I used to be about E3 because, well, I'll know everything beforehand. So, in a sense, if Sony does pull out, I'm looking at it as a way, okay, now they're going to be holding all of their information and guns to themselves. There won't be any leaks, or hopefully it won't be as much leaks, and I actually may be excited about something to the near future. That's just me, though.
To me, I feel like it's going to have the opposite effect because the leaks weren't coming from anybody involved with E3. Typically, it was insider sources that'll leak that information. So as they lose opportunities to make announcements that might drive people that will typically leak information to do it more frequently, because there's going to be less events for them to even announce anything. And it's going to give people that do share leaks with the internet, it's going to give them even more attention, because people are going to be more hungry for information as sources shrink. But I don't know, we'll see. It's tough. Like you said, with information leaking like that, it's events like E3 are getting like the emphasis on them for being like revealing games and getting new information and things like that. Like it's losing its impact.
It's losing its magic. Yeah, impact.
It's magic, its impact. It's also kind of divided now, because now that they're letting the public in, like that takes that much more away from it from the developer side. You know, they don't, like the press doesn't get to see as much as they would typically. They don't get to spend as much time with games. It limits what the developers and publishers can do, because they're accommodating a much larger crowd and trying to give them demos and events to the public, as well as the media and the actual companies. I understand E3 shrinking as a whole, but for PlayStation to do this, I think that's really kind of shitty.
I agree. It was unforeseen. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't have happened, and I find it kind of funny how Microsoft took jabs at Sony on Twitter.
Oh, did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they did. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're still going to be at E3, guys.
Come see us."
They should do like, I wish you were here.
Kind of deal they might.
I mean, this is a massive opportunity for Microsoft. If they can dominate E3, like that's going to mean a lot of things on different levels. I mean, that could make or break E3 as an event, because if Sony pulls out and Microsoft is so, that's really going to hurt E3 when it comes to next year. Like they might scale down, or they might even cancel it, because if you think about it, going into the next E3, it's just Xbox. There's like you had the big three. You had Nintendo, you had PlayStation, and you had Microsoft. Now all you have is Microsoft. As far as like headlining the event, like you've got your publishers and your smaller companies, but going into the next E3, it's going to be Microsoft. Bethesda's probably going to be one of the top ones, and Ubisoft. Ubisoft and Bethesda aren't going to drive people to go spend hundreds of dollars to go to E3. You know, they're just not. They don't have that much clout to draw in an audience. If Microsoft drops the ball, I feel like it's just over. But if they kill it, if they come in and they announce their new system and they own the show, then Microsoft has a chance to turn things around. So in a way, PlayStation's kind of giving them an opportunity to give them a little bit more ground. So it'll be interesting to kind of see where things go. But
for sure,
it's just kind of scary.
It is very scary. It's gonna be very interesting to see. Seeing that they're pulling out, I've become a little bit more interested, because I want to see what is Microsoft gonna do. Granted, you know the saying, no pressure, right? So we'll see what they're gonna.
I don't even know that if I were Microsoft, I would be looking at this as like more pressure.
Oh, for sure. But I was like, okay, all the lights on you now. You got the entire floor to yourself.
Don't fuck
now
up.
You have. You can do this, right? Don't do any mistakes. Say the things that we want to hear, and that's it. Your goal.
I feel bad for them. I really hope that they take this opportunity and they, because if PlayStation went to E3, I don't think that they would talk about like next generation. I don't think that they would come into the press conference with like everything that they have. They would want to kind of hold things back and announce them, like kind of spread them out throughout the year. But now that PlayStation's going to be gone, I feel like they need to take this opportunity and put everything that they have, everything that they're considering, and just put it out there and like blow people away. The new system, new exclusives, new services, like everything that they have, they need to put it out there and just destroy it, or they're in trouble.
I agree. I think they don't have much of a choice at this point. They have to show like one of the best shows they've ever done, and hopefully it works out. If it does, like you said, excellent. Everyone's happy.
And I have a story that's going to kind of tie back into this in kind of a negative way towards Microsoft, but we'll get into that in a minute. But I like Microsoft. I actually used to prefer Microsoft, like Xbox. I like the controller. I like the way that they do online a lot better than
360
PlayStation.
era?
Yeah, 360. I mean, I was 100% 360. I mean, I had a PS3 alongside it, but I would primarily
Play
everything on
360,
360, and then just kind of go to PS3 for exclusives and maybe like a handful of games that I would play with friends. And then going into the current generation, I started as Xbox One for the same reasons. You know, the use of the online, the controller, couple of exclusives, but not a whole lot. But I ended up going to PS4 because, I mean, that's pretty much what everybody has. You know, we talked earlier about PlayStation dominating. Everybody has a PlayStation. So, like, if I want to play with friends, odds are they're going to have a PlayStation. So I was kind of... Yeah, except for Cody. So I was kind of forced to go into PS4. But, I mean, as I've been on the PlayStation 4 and I've kind of been in that environment and seeing more firsthand, like, those exclusives and those games, I've essentially, like, turned into a PS4 gamer over Microsoft, which sucks. And one of these stories that's coming up is gonna, it's another nail in the coffin kind of situation. Here, let me jump into that one. We'll skip forward real quick because it's too relevant. Okay, so yeah, so Xbox One may be getting a diskless model next year.
Nope.
This is not good. This is the exact opposite of what Microsoft needs to do.
Essentially, that just hearing that news, I was like, I want no part.
So it's a rumor right now. So according to a rumor reported by Thurrott, I think it's called, Thurrott. Never heard of them, but it's a website, like a video game website. But according to their report, Microsoft is working on a new version of the Xbox One that is exclusively digital. The new model supposedly will sell for less than $200 and help usher in the digital age of gaming, as Microsoft initially planned on when the system was originally revealed. Alongside the diskless system, Microsoft is rumored to be offering a disc-to-digital program that allows owners of physical copies of the Xbox One games to trade them in at participating retailers in exchange for a digital code. Those are big steps towards going into digital, which obviously to me, that really pisses me off and makes me even more bitter towards Microsoft for doing this. And it's definitely a step in the wrong direction, because when they initially rolled out the Xbox One and they were going, oh, all digital, got to be online, all this shit, it pissed everybody off. But now that we're 4-5 years into the console generation and DLC is more commonplace and season passes are more commonplace and everything's kind of shifting to like games as a service, like we're starting to get more accepting of things being digital. Convenience has kicked in over those 4 or 5 years where people eventually are just saying, you know, fuck it, I can buy it right now, I can play it right now. It's convenient. You know, they're not really thinking about what that means for the future of gaming and preserving gaming as a whole. You know, like when everything goes digital, collecting goes away and like things are going to disappear basically. So like think of Mario, right? Mario, like a new Mario game comes out on the Switch. You got a cartridge. 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you can go get that Mario game. You can, you know, people will know about it and you can go back and you can play it. But say Nintendo does a new system and they go digital only, you know, and they release a new Mario game, and then another 10, 15 years goes by and they have the next generation of console or whatever that looks like. They're probably going to pull whatever service you downloaded that Mario game on, because it's 10, 15 years gone, right? Nobody's interested in that. They're not going to put money into maintaining those servers where you're downloading that game. So eventually that Mario game's just going to disappear. You're just going to forget about that, and that game's just going to be gone. It makes me sad to think, like, for me, my original Mario game, which is the original Mario game, it's on a cartridge. It's always going to be there. You can always go back to it. You can share it with the other generations. You can collect it. You can have it. It's going to be around. But in the future, as we go digital, as things come out, those things are going to start disappearing. And like the only people that are going to really know about it are going to be the people that bought it when it launched, or within that launch window or that console window. And then if you wanted to share that with like another generation or go back and play it later, you can't because it's gone. It disappears. So like that's that's my problem with going digital. Like, I get the convenience, but people aren't thinking of what that's going to do down the road. We're just thinking about right now, having it right now, quick and painless.
Basically, I mean, we're basically taking things for granted for what it is, having, as you said, convenience. Of course, it will come at a cost, not now, but down the road into the future. And I agree. I still believe that physical media should exist, with the downloads and virtual information and whatnot. I see no reason why they should stop doing that. Granted, you can always scale down the amount of the production of physical media, to accommodate. Sure, no problem. But I as well believe that we should always have physical media in any kind of format. It should always exist, just in case.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I have like 500 DVDs and I refuse to get rid of them.
Oh, there you go,
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I like the way that they're doing it more with movies because they're kind of doing the best of both worlds. Like when you buy a new Blu-ray, you're getting a digital code as well, right? So if you want it digital and you want to download it and have it wherever you go on all your devices, you can do that. But you've also got the disc. Like they should do the same thing with games.
I totally agree. That should definitely happen. I think although this might be in a way of abusing the system in some ways.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, giving the code and whatnot, you can give it to someone else to get the game and so on and so forth. Granted, if it's just a one-time use, I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to me. It's a topic every time we get into it, it goes on for like ever because I'm the angry, bitter old man of gaming.
You're just very passionate about it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just sucks because when you've been in it for so long and you've been collecting for, several generations of consoles, and then you see it start to dissolve and like nobody's paying attention, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it's quite disheartening at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just makes me angry.
Oh no.
And that's why I like things like, again, plugging limited run games because they're my free sponsor. But like I kind of hope to see more places like that start to kind of pop up where they're preserving games through limited runs, or even if it's like a permanent thing where they open up like a permanent way for you to go back and get a physical version of digital games. Like that'd be really nice, but I know that that's not realistic because as things go into digital, the companies, the publishers, that's a huge opportunity for them. If they can wipe out physical media,
oh, for sure,
like,
that overhead.
That's another problem is they gain more control over what they can charge you.
Yeah.
And, being digital, you're paying for a license. So you're not actually buying a thing, you're buying a license that they can take away. So like Halo, Halo comes out and they sell it to you and it's only digital. And then a couple years down the road, they want to do the definitive version or Halo collection that has 1, 2, and 3. They have the right to pull that original Halo game that you bought away from you because they want you to buy the definitive version or they want you to buy the collection. When you buy that game, you agree to their terms. And they can technically, legally do that. And that's fucked up.
Yeah. That is really messed up. I mean, if they went down that route, I don't think I'd be out with the video game industry altogether. I'm not want no part of it.
Exactly. Like it can get really shady really quick. So, and nobody understands this, and I don't think they really will until it's too late.
Yeah. So, once it starts happening, everyone's gonna be in an uproar.
Oh yeah, people are gonna lose their shit, and that's why it's so quiet right now because nobody gets it. It's just, oh, it's convenient. I can get it now. Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Well, I guess we're just gonna wait for the mass exodus, especially with the whole loot box and whatnot. I don't think I'm sure they're gonna do this very slowly, very, very slowly.
Well, they have been.
They have. You're correct.
Microsoft wanted to do it all in one go, and we saw how that happened. Everybody fucking lost their minds. But since we've been doing it slowly, like year by year, just a little bit more and a little more. Like I think right now digital sales are like 53, 56%. We're getting there.
That's pretty good.
It's happening. And then too, like if Microsoft does release this digital only box, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. There's also these rumors about the next generation, like the Xbox Scarlet is also supposedly going to be primarily a streaming device. They're going to have two versions of it from what the rumors are saying, where there's going to be like a stream box that's just like a little box that, I mean, all it does is receives a signal and you stream all your games to that. And then there is going to be a physical disc-based version. But if you think about like digital sales right now being 53%, that number is just going to increase going into the next generation. We're not going to be thinking about physical media as much as we were before when the default system had a disc tray, you know, because it's obvious, it's right there in front of you. But when there's an option for like, oh, it's easy and I can just stream it and I don't have to have things on my shelf, it's easy. A lot of people are going to get on board with that. So that number is going to just continue to increase. I hate it. I fucking hate it. We need to move on. Piece of
just
shit.
making you a bitter guy.
So what do you guys think of microtransactions?
That's just gonna make us all bitter.
Yeah.
No, that's like Shaun's fucking worst enemy.
No, it's worse enemy to consumers altogether. Period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's all the same fucking thing. Loot boxes, games as a service, digital only, all that shit. You can just throw it all together.
Stairs and Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Stairs and Resident Evil 2.
Just
Call
throw all
of
that
Duty,
shit in there.
all of it.
Hey, it's Shoesting.
You're right.
He's like, I fucking hate Call of Duty. As soon as the podcast ends, he's like, so we're gonna play Call of Duty.
I mean, when it comes to Call of Duty, I actually do kind of resent it. It pisses me off. It's a cash grab, but I buy every fucking one of them. So I mean, I can't really complain too much.
You're just mad.
Love-hate relationship.
Yeah, just like Capcom. I don't know.
You're just being abused by Capcom.
I really am, and in ways Call of Duty as well, I guess, and soon to be Microsoft. Who knows?
If you see it coming, don't do it, man. Don't get into the relationship. You see it's right there.
Oh goddamn! So we'll try to go a little bit longer because every time fucking digital, I knew this was gonna happen. Every time digital comes up, it fucking turns into a rant, and I can't stop myself.
Why didn't you bring it up last week when you were trying to double the podcast?
Because I was going on the news stories for those couple of weeks, and it just happened that there was nothing digital on there. It all happened this week.
The timing.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's the forces of the universe working against me.
It's the tarp.
It's the tarp. So let's talk about another digital download problem.
Oh my gosh.
They're all over the place. So Spyro Reignited Trilogy releases unfixed. So the Spyro Remake Trilogy was originally set to release on September 21st, but was delayed to November 13th because it needed, quote, more love and care. Before the delay, it was revealed that only the original Spyro game would actually be on the disc. Spyro 2 and 3 would need to be downloaded separately, which pretty much defeats the purpose of even releasing a game on a disc at all. So I don't understand why they even bothered. But it seemed like it seemed like a no-brainer that the delay, this love and care delay, would be to include all three games on the disc, or discs if it needed more than one. But unfortunately, the game came out, and it still requires you to download 2 of the 3 games. What the fuck?
Nah, no thanks. I'm cool. I got the originals.
When they first announced this, I was really excited about it. It looks fantastic, and I mean, it's a full remake. They went in, they completely rebuilt the game from the ground up, and it looks amazing, but why even put it on disc if it's only the first game? How can you call it a trilogy and only put one game on the disc?
I agree. I feel there's some sort of shady idea that happened, and yeah.
I'll tell you why. It's a fucking tarp.
It's a tarp.
I guarantee it, because like, I bet you anything 9 out of 10 people that buy that game don't even realize that they have to download the second and third game until they buy it.
That's very misleading.
It is, and I'm sure it's on the box, but I bet you it's a teeny tiny little label that says internet required to download games 2 and 3 or whatever.
Of course,
but no one's going to be
fonts up.
yeah, no one's going to be looking at that, especially going into the holiday season. Parents are going to be buying this game probably more than anybody else for their kids.
For sure.
They don't give a shit. They don't even know what they're looking at. They just know their kid wants this game and they're going to buy it.
You know what? I think I have enough faith in parents, or at least within our age group, that they'll realize, okay, something's wrong, something's fishy. I hope.
You cut out there a little bit.
Did I?
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, you're good.
All I was saying is more or less like, for at least parents within our age group, they should be fine, I think. I mean, we've all kind of grew up with Spyro to some extent.
Mhm.
So maybe we might be just a little bit more diligent than, the previous generation altogether.
Yeah, I mean, that is one positive thing. Like, as time goes forward, you have the parents that did grow up with video games. So maybe they're a little bit more knowledgeable because maybe they're still playing games today, so they kind of understand the situation, so maybe they'll look for that kind of thing. But again, it goes back to the situation where, like, the gaming community as a whole still isn't at the level that they need to be to recognize these kind of issues.
I agree. I feel that's
So-
pretty lacking on that matter. I think, you know what, Shaun, you should become the ambassador for this. You should be the one to lead charge on this whole. Yes, just do public announcements. Everyone should be following you. It's like, this guy knows what he's talking about. He is there for the consumers.
I'll get one of those fucking ice cream trucks and like a fucking megaphone on the top, and I'll drive around.
Just let them know.
Hear ye, hear ye. Oh, god damn it.
Should make it happen. It needs to happen.
Something's got to be done.
Do it.
Everyone's gonna fucking think I'm crazy, but I gotta try.
So do it in a machinima. Then they'll be like, oh, it's just Shaun's new machinima.
They'll just think I'm joking.
At the end, be like, this is not a joke.
No, just bring the fourth wall. Like, by the way, this is real. This is not part of the machinima.
At the beginning of
Please
the
don't-
machinima, based
Yeah.
on real events.
This
If you
is
think
true.
this is a joke, get fucked.
Yeah. If you download digital, also get fucked.
Hey!
Yeah, I said it. Fuck you. You're part of the problem.
Okay, I'm gonna delete World War II. I'm gonna delete every fucking game we
So
play.
here's what you do. Just delete all those games and then go buy the discs and everything's going to be great.
Here's what you do. Just, like, go out the front door, turn the corner, walk towards your car, and get fucked.
Go down to the bar and
Get fucked.
get fucked.
Also drunk.
And then the next story is kind of another related problem. Everything
Oh
in the
my
news
gosh.
today is connected by
News
this.
is bad.
And it's funny because, like, I didn't even realize this until just now. Like, I just went through and picked, like, all the news articles that are coming up, and it just so happens that they're all tied to the same fucking problem, more or less.
Oh my gosh.
It's
I
terrible.
was gonna say, I was gonna ask, it's like, are you a masochist? Do you enjoy
Was not intentional, but this one's, I mean, only lightly connected. But so Fallout 76 continues the trend of bloated game installs. So a few episodes ago, we talked about the unreasonable installation size of Red Dead Redemption 2 clocking in at over 100 gigabytes.
well worth it?
Well, it looks like Fallout 76 will be following this trend. The
Kinda
base
saw
game
that
installation
coming.
size is around 45 gigabytes. But the kicker is the day one patch is a whopping 51 gigabytes. The patch is actually 6 gigabytes larger than the actual game,
What?
bringing the total size to 96 gigabytes. So
What's in the patch?
exactly
What's in the patch?
another part of fucking digital gaming.
It's
they
all
release
the
broken
multiplayer,
games.
probably.
No, the
From what I've
problem is
heard-
they release it and they don't, like, before they knew when they released a game they're going to press it onto a disc and that's it. So they better be damn sure that everything is fucking perfect, or as perfect as it's going to get. You need to get all the glitches out of there. You got to make sure it runs correctly, because you're not going to have a second chance to go back and fix it. But now that everything's connected to the internet, they know that when you put the disc in, they can just do an update, just like a PC. So instead of putting that extra time and care into the game, they just fucking throw it out there. And then everyone's like, oh, it's broken, and this is wrong with it, and that's wrong with it. And then they go back in, and they fix everything based on feedback. Like, when they do the betas, that's when they find out they've got all these problems, and then we end up with a 51 gigabyte patch. Because they weren't putting in the extra time and effort that they should have done to begin with to fix all these problems.
I find it that this whole beta thing, considering that this was going to be released a week or 2 weeks before, I could never call it a beta. It was
That
more or
was
less the
so
full game.
fucking stupid.
It was the full game, and everyone who were defending it, and I called it, it's still gonna be a buggy mess. And here we are today, and I don't seem to find any really reviews. And I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even if they had released this with everything fixed, clearly they had to put in another 51 gigabytes worth of something. So it still would have been almost 100 gigabytes. So that's another fucking problem with digital. 2 games, if you bought Red Dead Redemption and Fallout 76, 200 gigabytes right there. And that's not even including the DLC that's going to come out, which is probably going to be another 20, 30 gigabytes at least for each game. So we're probably going to be hitting 350 gigabytes. That's a shit ton of memory, and that's 2 games. So if everything is a download, you're only going to be able to have like maybe 10 games on your system at a time.
Yeah, so those terabyte hard drives are looking...
Yeah, they're getting much smaller. And like a lot of people have data caps. So like you buy Fallout 76 and 45 gigabytes are on the disc. 51 of that you have to download. That hurts.
That hurts a lot.
Gigahertz.
Did I say gigahertz?
No, I said that.
Oh, get fucked.
What the heck?
Fuck video games in 2018. Fuck them.
I'm going to play
It's just a bad year, so... I mean, we're at the end of 2018, kind of, so 2019 hopefully might look better.
Doesn't sound like it, but I sure hope so. Oh, guess what? The next story also ties into this.
Oh my gosh.
Resident Evil 2 is only coming out digital.
Don't say that, please don't say that.
No, God, I would just kill myself.
All you hear is an explosion.
The fucking podcast just ends. The ward is shut down.
It's shut down.
But yeah, so we kind of talked a little bit about this earlier in my rant. But PlayStation begins collecting amusement tax in Chicago for digital downloads. So
I thought
Go ahead.
Was this actually Sony's decision or not the government?
No. So everybody's been trying to fight this, but everybody's losing the fight.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think every single company that's been told they need to pay this tax has taken it to court and lost. So yeah. So the city's amusement tax that mostly applied to like sporting events and concerts was extended to include digital services such as Xbox Live, Hulu, and Netflix in 2015. And PlayStation is now subject to charge the additional 9% tax on all digital services such as PS Plus, DLC, and game purchases. So as we lean into a more digital era, taxes, fees, and price spikes are likely going to occur more commonly.
In Chicago.
Earlier in Chicago for now, but as the industry turns to digital and the cost of servers and streaming and bandwidth and all this shit, as the demand goes up, we're going to start to see more shit like this. Taxes and fees and just the overall cost of everything is going to go up. And I mean, it always starts somewhere. You know, right now it's Chicago. What's next? You know, it's gonna start to spread into other cities.
Jeez, I think this might be my last generation of console.
I know. I keep thinking that too, because it, you know, you keep hoping for it to get better, but it just, there's so many signs that it's just gonna get worse and worse. I'm hoping that there will be a spike where like a lot of things happen at once to get enough people's attention that it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the only way it's going to happen. If we continue to just take baby steps, like year after year, I think by the time we realize how bad it is, it's going to be too late. It's just going to be the way of things. And that's really going to suck. And at that point, I'm probably not going to be playing current generation stuff anymore. It'll give me a reason to go into my back catalog and play the hundreds of games that I own that I haven't even touched.
I guess
maybe
that's the
it's
only
good.
time. Yeah, I think that might be the reason to touch on other games that we've never got.
Yeah,
we have more time now.
It just sucks because I'm still going to see like Resident Evil 10 or whatever, and I'm going to want it.
Of course, you know, it's gonna, these very enticing new games, like I want to play it, but I don't want to.
Stupid video
What will
games.
you do? What will you do? Will you bend to their will?
I know myself. For me, I'll probably just be like, nope, fuck it, I'm done. And then Resident Evil gets announced, and I say fuck. I can't help myself.
A new relationship starts.
Yep, the cycle begins anew.
Oh man.
I'm in a new relationship. It's abusive again.
My favorite kind.
I'm an addict.
It's terrible.
50 Shades of Games.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it is.
I'm gonna have to write a book now.
Oh god, she's gonna be
Shaun.
There's gonna be like gun residue and some blood. That's all there's gonna be in the book. Bestseller.
New York Times, right there.
By Shaun Clark.
Just remember, everybody
AKA
that watches this, don't give in. Don't give in to convenience. Don't do it.
I thought you were gonna say don't give in to suicide.
Don't give in to that either.
Unless digital games take over.
Stay away from abusive relationships.
Jump.
It's not good for anybody.
Sounds like when I jump, I'm gonna take all my copies of games with me.
I'm gonna throw everything into the ocean and then I'm gonna jump in.
Like I want to be launched into space with all my video games.
Yeah.
For the future.
For the future.
One of them makes its way back.
For humanity.
The internet servers blow up and it's the apocalypse and all electricity in the world is like obsolete. One video game comes back down, people are like, what the fuck is this? A disc?
What's all this trash? What the fuck?
Yeah, what's this garbage?
Who shot all this garbage into space?
Why didn't it burn on re-entry? What is this?
Does this case, man. So is there any other news that hopefully isn't so negative that doesn't,
No, that's pretty much it for that. I did have some survival horror stuff, but we're running a little long, so we'll probably have to forgo that. It seems like that always happens. Every podcast. Like, yeah. We never get to the survival horror stuff, or we get to do like maybe 1 or 2 items. One day I'll get this structure thing right.
Yeah, we should just be like, we're gonna talk about survival horror.
Yeah, we'll start with the survival horror and then we'll do news.
So this survival horror just came out on Disney.
Yeah.
And then we go on for like 2 hours.
It's funny that could happen because a while back, like a couple months ago, Resident Evil 7 was being released on the Switch as a streaming service, so it could happen. Yeah, the only way that you could play Resident Evil 7 on the Switch is by streaming, and it's only available in Japan.
Speaking of the Switch, a while back we were talking about how Ark Survival Evolved is coming to the Switch.
Is it download only? Digital only?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but because I don't even know how the Switch works. Does that thing work on discs?
No, it actually has cartridges, like little kind of SD card kind of things.
Well, that I'm not sure.
Kind
it
of
might
like
be
the Vita,
like the 3DS, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you see, there's a lot of people doing this streaming service, Ubisoft and whatnot. Hopefully, this is not going to be. I can't see the point of wanting to play Resident Evil 7 on Switch when you have it on PC and other consoles. I
still play Revelations on my 3DS.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a physical media, but I don't understand the reason of streaming it. Like, why? Yeah.
I take pictures of my Zelda game on the 3DS. I can't stream it, but
it's probably just a test to see how it did in the market as a streaming only game. Because I mean, it didn't even come to like the US or anywhere else. It was specifically Japan.
Just Japan only.
So it was probably just kind of a test.
For whatever reason, hopefully this test was a bad idea and it doesn't work out, and I don't want to.
I sure hope so. I couldn't imagine that running very well through streaming, but Japan has much better internet than we do, so who knows?
That is true.
But it would have been cool, to have. I mean, that would have been the only way to have Resident Evil 7 as a portable version.
I can understand, say, if you did have it physically on PS4 or already own it, why not? You want to on to go?
Yeah.
I guess if you find some good good Wi-Fi connection, sure.
Exactly.
But yeah, for me, I can just
put it on the Vita, even though it's dead. Do it anyway.
The Vita.
I like my Vita. It's alive. I don't know what you're talking.
It's a beautiful system, but it's very dead. But it's not dead to limited run games.
Nope.
Oh, god damn it. Limited run games, if you're listening, sponsor. Make it happen.
I'm sure they're listening.
But yeah, I think I've had these same survival horror stories on here for like 3 podcasts. I think I'm just gonna delete them and move on. But so yeah, we're about 10 minutes over. But we'll get into updates real quick. Considering there's not a whole lot going on, given that I can't really make content right now. But yeah, so not a whole lot to talk about for updates. Expect to kind of hear this from week to week until I move into my own place, which hopefully will be soon. But I've been mostly focusing on writing because that's something that I can do. Just kind of writing and fleshing out several scripts for upcoming machinima episodes. I've been writing a bit for the Dino Crisis machinima that we revealed last episode, and 2 episodes of shows that I haven't announced yet. And I've also been working on the structure for the holiday event for December, as well as scripting for a machinima special for that event as well.
Jeez.
So
I haven't been doing much, but
if you saw the list of things that I need to be working on, it's a drop it's a drop in the bucket. And I'm also working on a couple of things for January because that's Resident Evil 2 month, and I want to do a couple things for that. And yeah, not as much as I would like to be working on, but hopefully things fall in place and I can get more done here, like episode 13, because I know that's what everybody wants. But
not me.
As soon as I get into my new place, I'll be working on that first. Hopefully I can get that out like super quick. It's close. We'll see. But I will let you guys know kind of what's going on as I have more information to share.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me too. But it'll be nice to be able to work on things again and actually, release content.
Everything is in storage for you, so you're working on digital.
All the content is in storage.
So you're only digital.
You no.
Shaun is
Stop
digital only now.
No, you stop it.
Yeah, you can't. You can't do anything physically.
No.
Except work.
Shh. No. I don't even want to think about it, but you're kind of right. So shut up.
I mean, lollipops.
Bubblegum pieces and love for everyone.
And puppies and rainbows.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. And yeah, we ran 11 minutes over because digital sucks, for the record. Just putting that out there. Jazz, did you have anything coming up that people should know about? Any projects, streams, updates, what have you?
I'm working more and more on a couple of projects that I've been trying to get to. But, well, one of them, it's on standby until, you got all your stuff back. But,
oh, wow.
Another one. No, because, like, I need you for puppeteering.
Put more on me. It's fine.
Well, you can always get the game digital.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. Shut up. Another one I'm going to start working on
for Black Friday, I'll consider it.
I don't even know if it's ever
$2.
on sale.
That's the most I'm willing to pay.
I know. You know what? I wanted to get it on the computer, and it was still like $60, and I'm like, this game is so fucking old.
Digital. That's why.
No, like even physical copies.
What?
Games here are retarded. They're so expensive. Sorry, they're potato.
So if you go to a GameStop and buy a physical disc for Resident Evil 6, how much are you paying?
New?
Yeah.
Like $60.
What?
Yeah. Ask me.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Games don't devalue here. They don't really devalue.
That's why when you're like, oh, you should get this game, Jazz, it's only like $40. I'm like, no, it's $50.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
time to leave Canada.
Good old Colorado.
The time has come.
But yeah, like so while that's on pause, because the script is already done, I'm starting something new probably tomorrow after work, and also like I said, I've gone a whole new direction for episode 3 of Irrelevations. I can say it now. I'm so proud.
You've gone a whole new direction. Like, does that mean rewrote it or what?
No, well, it's not like a whole new direction. Like I told you, like when I play, I sort of see the story unfold in my head, and then I get all my videos together, and then I do the lip syncing to the script as I write it to go with the video. and I had the whole story in my head. But then when I was playing through the game, I was like,
you're sharing
shit.
industry secrets.
No, those are my secrets.
Oh, you're right.
You keep giving me shit because I do it backwards. I make the video, then I write the script. But it's that the whole story in my head when I was playing through the game, I was like, oh, I could do this instead. So I'm kind of switching the episode around. But I feel like with this new idea, the rest of the thing is just unfolding. So hopefully I can record the game faster and get through the script faster and have that done before the end of 2018.
At this rate, you're going to be done before me.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to agree with me.
Well, I have less voice actors to work with, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
But I do have Shayla, so.
Yeah, that counts as like 5.
Oh, wow. Are you calling her fat?
Wow. It's a tarp.
It's a tarp. It was a tarp. But yeah, that's pretty much.
How about you, Maple? Anything you wanted to plug? Social media, YouTube? Do you plan on making machinimas anytime soon?
I don't really have this creative process like you guys do, so I'm more or less keen on just voice acting, to be honest. So yeah, if anything does happen, sweet. If not, well, no big deal. Just
Nice.
living my life.
That's all you can do. Live your life in this crazy world of digital.
You're gonna hurt yourself, Matt.
One of these days, medicine is going to be digital, and we're going to be fucked.
His eye is twitching.
I'm sure
It's been twitching for the last hour. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. If you enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing so you don't miss a single episode of our digital conversations. Have yourself a merry little Thanksgiving. Don't forget to stab and or maul someone during Black Friday in the name of Christmas. And if you get a big screen TV from that dead body, from that person that you murdered, congratulations. You won. You won Black Friday. So on that
Natural selection?
Yeah, exactly. That's what Black Friday is. Natural
Oh my
selection.
gosh.
And it's a tarp.
Soon Black Friday is just going to be digital. Like, you can only buy shit online. No more store
I
sales.
hate you.
But it's true, though.
We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys all next time. Take it easy.
Bye.
Fuck digital. Bye.